Good evening, Cyclopeans, or good day, wherever you happen to be sitting on the planet. My name is Dan.
And I'm Tom.
Or in space. And this is the Sci-Clops podcast number 21, brought to you by H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon. And again, if you're not reading H.P. Lovecraft, by all means, drop everything you're doing and run and find an H.P. Lovecraft story, which we will happily provide the link for you so you can start reading immediately after this podcast.
Don't blame us when you go insane.
Yeah, don't blame us when you go insane. And we're going to start right away with Tom in his comics.
Okay, I got one from Marvel, one from DC, one from Boom, and one from Image. I got a nice spectrum today. We'll start off with Marvel, Venom number 4. I was a little unhappy with the whole new Venom storyline quote of Flash Thompson being missing and the new character Lee Price becoming Venom. But I gotta say, they've started to win me over with it becoming kind of Scorsese-esque, where the FBI is blackmailing him into infiltrating the criminal underground in NYC. And we're getting some... It's starting to pick up. It's... the slow burn is kind of turning into a raging fire now.
Raging fire.
And he's being confronted by Matt Gargan, who at one point was also bonded with the Venom suit. And the suit remembers Matt Gargan. It doesn't like Matt Gargan. It remembers he was not a very nice person. And Venom is now, the suit anyway, is now a good guy. It doesn't want to be the monster anymore, but Lee Price is forcing it to be. And Gargan knows something is up with Lee, but he can't quite put his finger on it. And this issue, Gargan says, well, I don't trust the guy. He's just some no-name thug. I'm going to get rid of him. And it winds up into this whole big shebang, and it looks like a classic Venom character is about to get dragged back into the fight, and Spider-Man looks like he'll be making an appearance pretty soon.
Awesome.
And just like every other supervillain and superhero combo, you know, Batman has Joker, Superman has Lex Luthor, Spider-Man has Venom. They're the two people think of most when they think of Spider-Man's Green Goblin.
Green Goblin, Venom. I was going to say, yeah.
And Venom is definitely right up there, especially if you grew up in the 90s like I did with the TV show and Eddie Brock was around. So it looks like Spider-Man's going to get dragged back into this big mess. But the other big wrinkle in this Venom comic is Marvel's been posting teaser images with what looks like Eddie Brock back in the Venom suit. The original host, the original Venom. And this is a bit of a confusing thing because Venom just started up again. And it seems like Marvel seems to be in this habit of doing like 5 or 6 issue runs and then starting over at number 1 again with a new character and a new team. And it's just like, do you not know how to do ongoing series anymore? I think like Daredevil at number 17 is like one of their longest running things right now.
It's like they're getting bored or something.
Yeah, they just keep shuffling the deck on every title, and it's kind of getting annoying.
They might be doing that, and I'm just throwing an idea out there. We are living in the age of sound bites.
Yeah.
And, I wonder if some of the fans that are coming up, the older fans wouldn't have a problem with this, but the younger fans all coming in
they want new.
Yeah, and they issue 17, I can't start here.
I can see that, but at the same time, it feels like just when you're settling in and a comic is getting its groove, it's gone. Like I said, Venom now, issue number 4, I'm really into this now, and now it looks like they might be blowing it all up again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see where
they go. You got to be pretty
darn
darn good to write a lot of depth into 5 or 6 issues.
It's possible. I've read a lot of great miniseries. Kingdom Come, my favorite graphic novel of all time, technically is only 4 issues long, but it's fantastic. But at the same time, it's like Kingdom Come was a one-off story. It was an Elseworlds tale. It was never meant to be ongoing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But this, I don't want to get into.
I think it could be short attention span, but we'll worry about that another day. That's another conversation.
Yeah, so overall, like I said, I'm enjoying. Now the new Venom series for me is cool. Is picked up. I'm enjoying it. Hopping to the other side of the fence, we have DC, the debut of Super Sons.
Oh yeah,
I've been looking forward to this comic ever since it was announced way back when DC Rebirth was a thing. The premise is it's following the sons of Superman and Batman. Mm-hmm. We have John Kent and Damian Wayne.
Yep. And
initially, like their fathers were, these two do not get along, even in the slightest. Damian is the biggest jerk ever, kind of like I used to rag on Batman for the old stuff for Batman. Like, why does anybody team up with Batman? He's such a jerk all the time. And that's pretty much Damian. Batman, they've gotten a lot better at toning that down. And John's very much the classic, 40s Superman, Boy Scout, always wants to do the right thing. So it's in a way, it's almost like a classic pairing of Batman and Superman from way, way back in the day. And we have the added wrinkle here of Batman and Superman are characters. Yeah. Obviously, they're their fathers. So we're watching Batman and Superman try to control the two of them and mold them into, the next generation of heroes for the world. And all the while, these two are getting up to shenanigans of their own because they're like 12-year-old kids.
Yeah.
How mature can they be?
With superpowers.
Well, one of them can fly. He has super strength and, laser vision. And the other one's a trained assassin already. So it's like, normal parenting skills kind of don't apply here. This is the variant cover by Dustin Nguyen. I forget what the regular cover looks like. But this issue 1's already hit the ground running, and I thought it did a great blend of humor and action and all the stuff you really need to make a good superhero comic. And next up, we've got on deck issue number 6 of one of my new favorite Image comics, Killer Be Killed. I talked about this one a couple times. I don't think I talked about the last 2 issues, but the basic premise is kid kind of winds up in a demonic pact where he has to kill people at least once a month to stay alive. And even he's kind of like, I don't know if I'm just going crazy and I think that, or if it's real. And they're playing with that notion in the comics. Like, is there a demon really after him, or is he just snapped and gone crazy?
Okay.
And this one is really about the consequences of him going out. Because, really, realistically, let's think about it. A guy goes out there and starts murdering people.
Yep.
There's going to be a manhunt, and, you can only get away with so much. And this issue is about that. It's all the kind of, as he puts it, the ripples in the pond from his actions starting to come back at him. And it's great because on the one hand, you've got this kid trying to hold on to who he is. And then on the other hand, he kind of likes the sense of power he gets from going out there and murdering scumbags. Kind of like the Boondock Saints, where they kill people, but only the really, really bad people. And then on the other half of the issue, we have the lead cop who's after him, trying to prove that there is a vigilante killer out there going, through the scumbags of New York City. It's great. It's kind of the polar opposite of stuff you get from DC and Marvel. It's very grounded in reality, aside from the demonic thing.
Yeah.
Which, luckily, they haven't been playing up too much, so it doesn't feel like it's becoming the shtick of the comic. But it's this very dark, gritty, brutally violent comic, and it's a real nice change of pace. And Ed Brubaker is fantastic.
Yeah, he's a big deal. He's on this.
His run on Daredevil was fantastic. He's proven time and again he can do fantastic work. So I'm looking forward to this. It's one of my favorite new titles from Image. And the last one I got, and this one was great, the Power Rangers number 12. And like I said, I've been apprehensive of the movie, but the more I've seen from it, the less terrible I think it looks. But the comic is one thing that has been consistently fantastic since its inception. Billy and Tommy have wound up in this other world that the Black Dragon sucked them into after the wrap-up of the first initial arc. And now we've discovered who the mysterious Black Dragon is. Billy and Tommy wind up in an alternate Angel Grove, which is it's like Orwellian future. There's a curfew, and there's shock troops patrolling the streets. And there was the big reveal from this was the new Power Ranger, who was like a fusion of the Green and White Ranger. And it was kind of obvious. It was it's totally an evil version of Tommy. Come on, it's got to be.
Yeah, it's an alternate universe.
Yeah, it's an alternate. It has to be.
Nobody's ever good in an alternate universe.
Nobody. And sure enough, it turns out to be an alternate version of Tommy. Yep. And this issue was Billy and Tommy learning the history of how this came to be. And it was great because even though it was really exposition heavy in terms of it's a lot of backstory, they did it in a way that felt like they were delivering a whole other action story with it. And so it didn't just feel like this happened and then this happened and then it's not like they're reading out of a book at you. They had some great nods to some past series where they're being told that new allies had to be formed. You see the Alien Rangers, the Phantom Ranger, and you see some of the classic Rita villains all in one big splash page fight. Cool. And it was great. And it looks like I was initially thought that this arc was going to be kind of, maybe 2-3 issues tops, and then we're back to the main reality here. But it looks like they might be settling into Tommy and Billy are stuck here for a while. And it's an interesting tease for the future because, as any real Power Ranger fan knows, Tommy eventually becomes the White Ranger. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of a tease to the Ranger he'll find himself becoming at some point. But yeah, like I've said, this series, I haven't read an issue of this and never thought, oh, that kind of sucked. Well, hopefully next one will be better.
You're definitely enjoying this way more than you're worried about the movie.
Oh yeah, this is fantastic. Like I said, I'm less scared about the movie after having seen the newer trailers.
Yeah.
But we'll see. You know, we're 1 month away from the movie. The countdown is almost over to my dread.
That is going to be a sole Power Rangers episode, I fear, when Tom comes roaring in here.
Oh my god, I could do
screeching and yowling about the Power Rangers for an hour straight.
Back-to-back episodes on nothing but Power Rangers.
We might actually do it.
Yeah.
We might actually do it. Just let you go crazy. Okay, what's up?
I got some, not comic reviews, but comic news, anyway. You told me about this right before we started. Tekken, one of my favorite fighting game franchises of all time. It's 10 games deep. Well, if you count spin-offs besides like Tekken Tech Tournament, so really more than that. But a really long-running franchise. I've been playing it since I must have been like 8 or 9, and I love it. It's getting a comic series, and it looks like it's going to be dropping this May, so it's not even that far away. It's about 3 months. And it looks to explore some of the backstory and history of the characters, which is great because Tekken does something that not every fighting game does well, and it tells a great story. Sometimes when you get a fighting game, you'll get, a smidge of backstory, and then it's just punch, kick, fight, kick, and you're like, okay, this is fun, but why is everyone killing each other?
Let's get to the FPS.
Yeah. So now we've got the backstory, which is already fairly large after 7 main games. It's going to get expanded even more, and we're going to see how characters interact with each other outside of the main game tournaments, which I think is going to be fantastic. I'm a huge fan of the series, and it looks like they said Tekken 7 might be the wrap-up of the video game franchise, at least for the foreseeable future. So hopefully Tekken will at least continue on in some form or another. And my other bit of comic book news is Bane Conquest. It's going to be a 12-issue maxi series, they're calling it, at DC, where obviously Bane's going to be the main character. And Bane has been a big part of the new Batman comic going on by Tom King. And Bane was not entirely absent from the New 52. He made appearances like Endgame and stuff like that. But Bane wasn't really focused much on in the New 52, at least in the Batman solo titles. So I'm a huge Bane fan. I thought Nightfall was a fantastic arc. I really enjoyed what Tom Hardy did as Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. So it looks like in this one, Bane is going to leave his prison home of Peña Duro and come back to Gotham to try to reestablish himself as the kingpin of Gotham's crime once again.
Cool.
And if you're a longtime Batman fan or even a newer fan who's read Nightfall, you know that Bane did it once. He beat Batman and became the king of Gotham for a while. So it's not like this is a hero or a villain who's never had a shot at the big time. This is a guy coming back who said, enough with this. I'm taking what used to be mine back. And the best part about this, though, is that this maxi series is going to be reuniting Bane with his original creators, Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan, the original writer and artist who worked on Bane, who brought him into the Batman lore, are going to be doing this, and I think that is fantastic news, and I'm very excited for this when it finally drops.
What do we got next? The Bane thing's going to be hot, because Bane was hot in the last movie, by the way, too. I remember everybody was talking about Bane. He was like the bomb in that Batman movie. So.
Well, I did not, unfortunately. I've been so wrapped up doing other stuff, I didn't get to the TV this week, but I feel okay with that because, Flash was on hiatus anyway, and I like to do all 3 of them in one day. So I didn't get to my Arrow or Legends tomorrow yet, but I will be getting that for the next one. But there's a lot of TV and movie news anyway. Predator began filming today.
Yes.
Today is a glorious day, everyone, because the new Predator movie has begun. Shane Black, who was actually Hawkins in the original movie, is directing, and he's confirmed that the film is going to be R-rated.
Isn't that cool, though, that you got an actual Predator guy
that's
doing
awesome.
the movie, which means somebody who knows what they're doing.
It's not, it's not just going to be some guy who goes, okay, Predator sounds kind of cool, but let me put my spin on it.
Yeah, this is a guy.
This is a guy who was in Predator 1 with Arnold.
He met the Predator.
Yeah, he met the Predator. He was the first guy killed. First guy killed.
I mean, if you're going
to
do the
something
Predator,
you can say in cinematic history.
Yeah,
first guy ever killed by the Predator.
First guy killed by Predator. I got the rights.
Yeah. So this guy was in it with everyone. He knows what he's doing. Some of the cast has been announced. Olivia Munn, Keegan-Michael Key, Boyd Holbrook, and the one that's exciting me the most is Thomas Jane. I love Thomas Jane.
There's going to be some big money behind this.
Yeah, I thought The Punisher with him in it was great. So this is nice to see him get another shot at a big movie. Some of the rest of the cast, I kind of look at them, and it's almost like it's become the Hollywood trend of everybody's really good looking.
Yeah,
like in Predator, they were big, jacked up dudes.
Yeah,
but they didn't look like
they weren't good looking.
They weren't that good looking.
I mean, Schwarzenegger was
probably the best looking out of all of them.
But you didn't go to that Predator for good looking guys.
You wanted to see an alien and some Marines fight each other in the jungle.
And I'm with you on that because I was just going to say that one Predator. Remember the one where they had the Predator alien mix and they were on the mountain and they were like these hipsters.
AVP. Alien vs. Predator. Yeah, everyone in that cast was
terrible.
Gorgeous.
It was like straight out of like a modeling agency. And like, oh God, can't we just have some average looking people for a change? Nothing against you beautiful people, because I know what it's like. We're beautiful too.
I mean, I get stopped every day and asked, how do you look so...
I know I've seen you in movies somewhere. And like, yes, you have. I gotta go now.
Yes, I gotta go buy that. But there's something to be said for that dark kind of greedy... Like Alien, the first Alien movie.
Yeah.
They look like they lived on a frickin' spaceship. They hauled space wrecks. Right. They looked like they believable characters.
They look like truckers.
Yeah.
Space truckers is what that was about. Yeah. And they look like gritty space truckers who, and like, what did we say on the last podcast? That they look like they could
fix a car tire.
Fix a car tire.
Yeah.
They could fix a toilet. Any one of those, from Ripley on up, or down, whatever you want to say. While smoking a Marlboro,
Yeah, so. I'm gonna go see this anyway. I love Predator, and nothing.
Right. We'll go anyway.
I'm sure with Shane Black at the helm, this is gonna turn out to be a pretty darn good movie. But I just kind of wish we could get a little bit back to that
grittier,
that grittier cast where it's like this is a dude you would not want to run into on the street. What else have I got? Oh. As we must inevitably do at some point, we have to talk about Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Ever since that Star Wars The Last Jedi name drop, people have been freaking out like, oh my god, is it Rey? Is it... But apparently, the mystery might have been cleared up in some of the foreign language translations of the title. It looks like The Last Jedi does indeed mean plural. Which would mean Rey and Luke. I had a feeling that too, because like I said, there's no way they can kill off Mark Hamill in this movie anyway. He's got to at least make it to episode 9.
He'll go Force Ghost in 9 maybe.
Yeah, oh God, don't say that. Mark Hamill's got to live through everything.
He's got to live through everything.
Luke must continue on.
Yeah.
But so it looks like, it wasn't really that huge of a I kind of figured it meant plural, but there was that little bit of doubt, like maybe Hamill is gonna bite the dust in this one, but I certainly hope not, because I want to see him go on and on. Also, we have Suicide Squad 2. The initial thoughts on that were that David Ayer was gonna return to direct after doing the first one. But it looks like David Ayer instead is going to be doing that Sirens of Gotham movie with Harley, Poison Ivy, and
I'm pretty pumped about that.
Katana,
actually.
Which I think will be
a lot of fun.
But now the rumor is Mel Gibson for Suicide Squad 2, and even Gibson himself has confirmed that he's had talks with DC about doing Suicide Squad 2. And at first thought I was kind of like, Mel Gibson, not because I don't think he can direct well, but it's like, Suicide Squad 2, Mel Gibson? And Mel Gibson's gone on the record saying he hates superhero movies.
Yeah, that was a big deal online. Everybody was talking about that. Why has he suddenly done a 180 on this?
Yeah, he's just ranting on... He did this whole big thing about why comic movies suck and real movies don't get, all the press coverage.
Yeah. Well, who else did that? Wasn't it...
it was...
Cameron?
No, not Cameron.
No, it was who was it? It was somebody, one of the really big directors. Tirade about Star Wars or something. Yeah, I hate it.
Tarantino did that.
Tarantino
when they pulled Hateful Eight to show Star Wars.
Cameron did it too for some reason.
Maybe but I'm not
tirade about something.
But so it is interesting to see Gibson do a 180 and kind of have this meeting with DC about Suicide Squad, and I think Gibson has proven that he is a good director. I've seen Apocalypto. Hacksaw Ridge has been getting really great reviews.
Apocalypto was fantastic. Got to say really quick, if you haven't seen Apocalypto, it came out.
06.
Unfortunately, it came out after, right after Gibson had gotten into some of the troubles.
It was after?
Yeah, I think it was right around then, and so they basically ignored it, and it was right after the Passion of the Christ.
No, 3 years later was Passion. Passion was 03, Apocalypto was 06.
Well, it was technically, right after.
But it was his next movie.
Next movie, and it was Tom and I both loved it. It was really good.
Watch it with a baby puppy because it's depressing.
Yeah,
holding a baby puppy.
Uber depressing, and it's got an ending that's just like.
But yeah, Gibson's proven he can direct. He knows what he's doing. It's not like this is some publicity stunt to get a director in there. So I'm curious to see how this goes. I think it would be certainly make for an interesting movie. And what else we had for movies?
I was going to. I wanted to, if I can get you here. Well, we for movies we got the big news, the carousel of the Batman movie directing mess.
Oh yeah.
What a mess that is, and Reeves on and then off again, and it's like, what is that all about?
Why can't they find a movie or director for this movie?
I don't know what's going on with this, but the whole internet was on fire the other night.
And I thought Matt Reeves was a great choice.
Yeah, he signed on, and not even a week later, he's like, I'm done, I'm out of here. So
now,
somebody's ticking somebody off over there.
Again, I'm wondering if this is just a case of, we've heard this before from the guy who directed Thor 2, we've heard this from Zack Snyder. The movies that we finally get after they all get released are not the movies they set out to make all the time. Zack Snyder said repeatedly when Batman vs. Superman came out, my cut was better. I had more in here, and no one believed him. And then when the Ultimate Cut came out, people had to kind of shut up because the Ultimate Cut was way better than the theatrical version. And I can never remember the guy who directed Thor 2's name, but he said, I had a very different movie before the editors got a hold of it. And Thor 2 was not as well received as Thor 1, and I do think the original was better, but I still enjoyed Thor 2, but I can see how when you have a vision in your head of how this is going to go, how you're going to leave your mark on the character, or characters, depending on what you're doing. And then the studio comes around and says, okay, we need you to do this, 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 and this. It's like, why even have a director if you're going to tell me to do this, 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 and this? Why don't you just do it? And,
Right.
Kevin Smith dropped out of that Superman movie when he said he realized that they didn't want Kevin Smith's Superman movie. They just wanted somebody to direct their Superman movie. And I wonder if that's what Reeves found out. Reeves said, awesome, I'm going to do Batman. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. And then they were like, okay, you're going to do this, this, this. And he was like, I'm not doing that.
Classic example. And help me out with this because I'm trying to remember the exact movie. They did a movie, I think it was last year or the year before, and they had a major female character in it. And the movie took a left turn, and the complaint later that was not really talked about a lot, but it was rumored that the studio came in and said, we can't sell action figures if you put her in there. So they took her out.
And it was Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, it was the female villain.
Who was it going to be?
Maya Hill, I think.
Somebody was going
to... No, not Maya Hill.
Was it Maya
3? Somebody. It was Iron Man 3, yeah.
All right. I'm trying to remember
I can't remember the character's name, but yeah.
Boy, they kept that quiet because that was
years later that came out,
blowing up on everything.
And it's really dumb because...
It's dumb because if you go to conventions, nerds and geeks buy those figures. I mean, what's going on with the toy figures?
I went to a con with my friend. First toy he bought, Captain Phasma, female character from Star Wars.
I have a Captain Phasma
I have a
shirt.
Wonder Woman and Rey figure up in my room.
I got a Phasma shirt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. They're so worried. That's where you got two different departments fighting it out. You got the PR, several.
Which I think is fantastic because when Wonder Woman drops...
That's going to really open the door. Well, you would think by now Harley Quinn would have done it.
Oh, yeah, they have Harley Quinn figures.
The figure.
Harley Quinn's always been around kind of in figures. She's like in one form or another.
Yeah.
But
the explosion in the last
Here's the thing, though. I will say this. Suicide Squad had a bunch of female characters in it. Yep. You had Amanda Waller, Enchantress, Harley Quinn, and Katana.
Yep.
So that's 4 big female characters in the movie. Guess how many of them got a figure?
Harley Quinn.
No Katana figure, no Enchantress figure, no Amanda
Very
Waller
interesting
figure.
on that, too, yeah.
And I can see maybe not doing an Amanda Waller figure because she's not really in action, but Katana and Enchantress?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Katana did get a figure.
Too.
Katana did get a figure.
She didn't get a figure.
But they did, but it's very limited in scope in comparison to Harley was everywhere. There's Harley everything. But it's they never get as much.
Even Captain America Civil War.
Black Widow has kind of one. Scarlet Witch never really.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
I
Scarlet
said
Witch.
Source. I'm sorry, I got the sources. Yeah. Scarlet Witch didn't get much. I thought, well, she'd get one for sure.
She got one, like the token.
But you don't see
figure line.
The bottom line is what the people are really into, and the fad last year, and that's what I'm trying to say. Fad. And the fad, there was a lot of women. Great, okay, they came out and they did do something, even though you didn't see figure. There was a lot of female characters, but the fad was Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn was the
Harley Quinn was
everywhere. And you're going to have one or two.
I remember somebody, the second Suicide Squad came, he goes, how you wait for Halloween? Every single girl is going to be, and sure enough. Oh, yeah.
Everybody's Harley Quinn. Now, this year it's going to be interesting because it's going to be Wonder Woman, Cheetah. I don't think that the Sirens of Gotham won't be out for
it won't be out for a while.
So But you'll have Wonder Woman and Cheetah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody's going to go do that. I've seen a couple Wonder Womans out there at the cons.
Yeah, you always see one. She's been around so long.
Yeah,
she's always been around.
Yeah, she's got, what, a 75-year history or something
75,
like that.
75 last year, so
year,
76. But yeah, couple of last bits of movie news. Shazam, which has been in gestation in DC pretty much since the birth of the DC Extended Universe. We still have no word on who's playing Shazam, but now it looks like we might have found a director, at least, for the movie. Apparently, David Sandberg is being kind of eyed as a potential director, and he did the horror movie Lights Out.
Yep.
And he's got Annabelle 2 coming out later, another horror movie.
Which was one of the few horror movies last summer which took off. Lights Out and Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
They're the two of the hottest. And, I'm sorry. I think Annabelle and The Conjuring.
I don't know if he did the original.
The Conjuring, too, was hot.
Oh, yeah. But, which is interesting because, I mean, that's a horror pedigree for a Shazam movie.
Yeah.
And Shazam definitely has the elements. It would lend itself kind of to that. It's, Shazam's powers are mystical in nature, so are Black Adam's. So, I mean, it's not like a straight up, Superman or Batman where it's like you get your standard comic book origin.
Yeah.
There is a bit of mysticism and elements of that kind of nature to it. But still, a horror director is kind of a bit of an odd choice.
Yeah,
but
we'll see how he does.
We'll see how he works out. And the last one, and this one is, I think, a lot of fun, Colossal. It's an Anne Hathaway movie. And
I saw that, yeah.
I think this... when somebody told me what Colossal was about, I said, this sounds like it's going to be one of the dumbest things ever. And then I saw the trailer, and I had to eat my words, because it looked pretty dang good. The basic premise here is Anne Hathaway's character is just a normal, everyday person, and one day she discovers that she is mentally linked to a giant kaiju rampaging across Asia. And the best part is she's, like, in her house cleaning with headphones in, like, doing a crazy dance. Yep. And the kaiju is just rampaging through Asia doing the exact same thing.
Yep.
And then she finally notices on the TV, and she's, like, moving, and the thing is moving exactly like she is. And, like I said, when I first heard about this, I said, this is stupid. This is going to be, like, a ridiculous... I love, like, stuff like Godzilla and Pacific Rim, so I'm like, I get really touchy when people do giant monster movies that are dumb. Looking at you, Cloverfield. But
I didn't mind Cloverfield.
Cloverfield was dumb.
I'm the only guy out there who didn't mind Cloverfield.
No, lots of people love Cloverfield.
There was huge holes in it, a mile wide, but still fun.
So I was kind of miffed that they're doing like a making fun of kaiju movie, but this looks like it's going to be pretty dang funny. So I think that'll be a lot of fun when that finally drops.
You're right. Really quick on Cloverfield. Cloverfield did, I think, take itself a little serious, but I watched
the thing
it.
Where the dude gets killed on the bridge and then the dude grabs the camera from him and keeps going.
Well,
Who does that?
I was complaining about it when it came. I told you I saw it. And I said I didn't like it at the time. I was kind of like a little surprised. In retrospect, it was kind of fun. I do remember parts of it. It wasn't the worst thing ever. But there was like his brother dies on the bridge.
Oh yeah,
so he just leaves.
I think that was
my brother died. I better grab the camera and get some film. What? Or he goes back for the girlfriend, which just the whole like jumping from building to building and like what, kind of thing. All right,
J.J. Abrams does a lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah, there were holes in that.
Cloverfield was not one of them, in my opinion.
Giant holes in it, but it was still a good monster movie, goofy and fun. But it did take itself kind of seriously. But so anyway, we're looking at that.
And my last bit of movie news is actually a review. Justice League Dark came out. It was a new addition to that DC animated universe of movies they have, which I think some of them have been absolutely fantastic. Justice League Gods and Monsters is one of my favorite Justice League stories ever, really. And so I really had high hopes for Justice League Dark, especially because Matt Ryan, who did Constantine live action, was voicing Constantine in this movie. And, we can characters like Swamp Thing, Deadman, Zatanna, Etrigan, and I was really looking forward to this movie, and I am unhappy to say it did not do much for me. I got it, and I popped it in, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, it had a really cool start, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be good, and then it just kind of drags. Yeah. It's really exposition heavy, and
that's too bad.
Like I said, in that Power Rangers issue, if you do exposition right, it doesn't feel like it's exposition. It feels like it's just part of the story. But this was like, okay, this character, and this is why you need to know him, and this character, and this is why you need to know him, and this character, and this. I'm like, and it's annoying because as a big comic nerd, I know who these people are. I know what their backstory is, and it just felt like, I mean, I get it. You can't just throw all these people in a movie and not give any reference to their history.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just was like backstory and backstory and backstory. And then the big twist reveal was like, what?
Okay.
And it had great action scenes, and there was definitely, it was great because it was a lot darker than a lot of the animated DC stuff. It was pretty, really dark in some instances, which I liked.
Justice League.
Yeah,
dark.
Justice League dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got into the real, like, evil necromancy stuff, like
Yeah.
stuff that Justice League just can't fight, which is why you need these guys.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The whole thing just kind of felt like
Didn't do it for
one big. It felt like it was a 75-minute movie, and it felt like at least 20 to 30 minutes of it could have been cut.
Ah, okay.
Without losing too much.
Because of all the backstory.
Because of all the backstory and exposition. Yeah. And a couple of the voice performances just felt kind of flat. Like people were just reading off a page.
All right.
Batman is in this too as like the kind of the tie to the main Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And although the one part of the movie I did love, and I'll remember this for a while, is there's a character who's psychic and she's reviewing Batman. She goes, "Your life's nothing but a patchwork of blackness and misery and pain, and you have no joy in your life. How do you cope with it?" And Batman's just kind of staring at her for a second. He goes, "I have a butler." And that actually made me laugh out loud.
That's awesome.
But yeah, overall, I don't know. I give it like a 6.5 or a 7.
Okay.
But it didn't do much for me.
That's too bad.
It's a shame because when I first heard about it, I was like, this is gonna be great.
I've been covering that for months on and off on the site. And
now, if we get a second one, I think the second one will be.
Because you won't need the backstory.
You won't need the backstory. The second one will be able to just go, hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope they don't. I hope this does well enough to warrant a sequel. Because I really love these characters, and I would love to see them get some more time in the spotlight. Especially with Matt Ryan returning as Constantine in that CW Seed show coming up soon. But yeah, overall, it was just kind of
Just kind of flat. Okay. And what else you got? You want to keep going?
Well, this one is odd because it could be a TV, it could be a movie news. Donnie Yen has recently been... Yeah, Donnie Yen's been campaigning to play Namor, the Submariner.
Yeah. We got that all over the place.
Basically, I don't want to.
Well, I like to say Namor has been campaigning to play Donnie. Yeah, I think they look just like each other.
They do. And
when I saw that, I was like, "Holy moly! How did I miss that?"
Think, for those of you who don't know what Namor is, think the Marvel version of Aquaman, the ruler of Atlantean Kingdom. But I don't take that as me saying, "Oh, he's just a blatant ripoff." Well, I don't even remember who came first, but they do share a lot of similarities. Yep. Namor is one of those characters that, again, he's pretty deep in the bench of comic fans know who Namor is. They know how big a deal he is, but he's one of those, you drop that name to a casual fan and they're not going to go.
See, I grew up with, I had a beautiful, this is kind of funny, I have a beautiful blacklight poster of Prince Namor flying over the Statue of Liberty in years, way back when I was a kid, and I had that in my room for years and years, so I've always been a fan of Namor. And most people, you're right, it's kind of gone. He was out. You haven't seen the Aquaman's. Well, no, that's Aquaman. I'm sorry, I'm saying Namor. You haven't seen like any underwater anything in years.
Not in a while. It was big for.
I'm trying to think if he had anything in the '70s. There was somebody with one, but I don't think it was him. But anyway, he's they're getting ready to do it. Donnie Yen will be hot. I think.
Yeah, people have been tweeting him fan art of him as Namor. He's been retweeting, and he's been. It looks like he wants to play this part.
Well, we put up an article. We put up a post that Donnie Yen's gunning to play.
Yeah, he wants to be it, and I think it would be a great choice because again, it's one of those things where
Submariner.
Where some of the criticism levied at superhero movies, and to a certain extent it is justified, is that a lot of the superheroes are white blonde guys.
Yeah,
and Namor is definitely not that.
Yeah.
He's a compact, mixed race kind of looking guy. I always thought he was like a mix of like Hawaiian, Polynesian kind of thing, And he would add a nice new layer to Marvel's depth of heroes. Now the rumor is Namor might make a debut on the Inhumans TV show, which would be, I think, interesting, and it would certainly make the Inhumans TV show, it would give it another fun wrinkle in there instead of just being about the Inhumans. But I don't see Donnie Yen wanting to transition to a television actor.
Cool.
Because I feel like that would eat up a lot of his time in America, and he does so many projects over back in China, and he's starting to get some more American roles. He was just in Star Wars, obviously. Yeah. He was...
one of the, huge
he was in the new Triple X movie that just came out. And it's funny because with Star Wars and Marvel being owned by Disney now, I mean, he kind of has an in
I gotta admit too, I didn't realize just how big he was, and I started.
Oh, he's huge.
I was searching for him on Netflix last night, and I was like, wow, boy, he's got a whole mess of martial arts movies.
He's
and they look pretty good too.
They're awesome. Flashpoint, Special ID, Kung Fu Killer.
Special ID is like
Special ID is great.
Well, there are 4 parts to that, I think.
No, there's only one.
Or IP.
Ip Man. You're thinking Ip Man.
Ip Man.
You're thinking, Ip Man. Everybody's on that. Yeah,
okay.
All 3 of the Ip Man movies he was in.
Okay.
Yeah, the dude is a phenomenal athlete, great actor.
I've never seen him. I want to see him now.
Oh, you watch some of his fights and you're like, what? Yeah. It's kind of like Jackie Chan-esque.
Yep.
Remember when Jackie Chan first hit America, Rumble in the Bronx?
Yeah.
And you're like watching this and you're like, what am I seeing right now?
Yeah, Jackie Chan was just laying waste to people back in those days.
And when I remember seeing there's this one fight scene, I won't give it away in Ip Man, but I remember watching the scene, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a martial arts movie.
If you guys, anybody out there likes martial arts, go look up the old Jackie Chan movies, because before he got the comedy thing
Rumble in the Bronx, Who Am I?
Man, was he good.
Yeah.
Oh, Who Am I? With the kicking scene.
Yes! That's what everybody remembers is the kicking scene.
Back and forth. Holy moly, look at that kicking scene.
Yeah, oh my god. I remember watching behind the scenes stuff on that, and they're just like holding, after each take, they're just like, oh.
Even you'll get up out of a chair and you'll be like, I can't walk, and I didn't even star in the movie.
Yeah, but Jackie Chan was doing some brutal Police Story. That's not an American one, but Police Story is like, he does a stunt towards the end. And again, this is when Jackie Chan was doing all his stunts. You do this and you're insane. That's the only explanation for why you did this.
My favorite stunt is him running down the side of the skyscraper. Completely nuts.
Yes.
He does one where he actually runs down the side of a slightly tilted skyscraper, and it's just like,
I think that was one of the Police Story movies.
It might have been. And the best part about Jackie Chan movies from the day is all after the credits.
The bloopers. The bloopers of the stunts,
took. And he was just one mass of broken bones. That guy's going to need arthritis cream like you are not going to believe.
He's going to become the first cyborg.
He is. He's going to be hurt.
So, I think that Namor, we're back to our original point.
Sorry, we went
off all over the place. But I think Namor would be a fantastic addition to Marvel Universe, and I think Donnie Yen would be an excellent casting choice. But that's going to be a while off. I don't think. A little bit. I think Inhumans is 2018. So if he does debut in the Inhumans TV show, it's a while off. Or who knows, they might want to do a movie because, like I said, Doctor Strange got a movie, Guardians of the Galaxy got a movie, Ant-Man got a movie. Yeah. It's like all these characters that you wouldn't expect to get their moment in the sun finally get their chance. So
they're doing pretty
Namor
good.
Could do
they're doing pretty good.
Some good stuff.
Really quick on that note, I saw the Doctor Strange cartoon on Netflix. If you're interested in taking a look at it, it's not bad. I watched it the other night.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
The cartoon.
It was all right.
The story of Doctor Strange, how he became Doctor Strange. I think it's basically the parallels the movie. Not a bad cartoon. A little quick around because it was a cartoon. Takes itself a little bit seriously again, but not too bad. I liked it. I got some more backstory on Doctor Strange, which I didn't quite know his character as much. So that's on Netflix right now if you want to check that out. And really quick, one more thing if I can throw this in here. Spectral. Tom covered this last week, and I just happened to see it, and I grabbed it. I had time to look at it.
I covered it a while ago. I think I did.
Not a bad movie. What I liked about it was there was no point in it where we all cried and held each other close and talked about that time when baby Johnny died or my wife died or whatever. It was just basically a lot of butt kicking and a lot of people getting killed and up against. It was like Aliens when they sent in the Marines to go after the aliens and they just got toasted from one end to the other and nobody could stop these things.
Well, I thought it was great because it had a visual distinctiveness to it that a lot of movies kind of lack. Where when we get movies with Marines and stuff like that, it's like, okay, they're all in the same outfit and they're all shooting the same guns and they're all and it's they kind of just blur together after a while. But this one, it just had there was a little bit of enough of a visual tweak on a lot of stuff that it kind of stands out.
I don't know. My little criticism with it was that I wasn't as much for the Marines. I thought they put all their money on the main character, the guy.
Yeah.
And they had the scientist and it had one general or something or a high up special forces guy, and that's pretty much all they really carried on with. I didn't really think they went too much depth on the characters here. It was good and bad. The good part was he does the whole movie in the director does the whole movie in like an odd, how do you describe it, like an electronic glowy bluish green,
gray,
dark.
The specters themselves.
But it never changes.
They come out that way.
You never see anything different in the movies. That same dark, gray, electronic, bluish green.
On the one hand, it's like some movies that they're so visually memorable because of the different drastic styles within the same movie.
Yeah.
And then other ones, like this, where it's like the same thing throughout the entire thing. They kind of get that thing. It's a distinctive flavor that some of them don't have. And I thought Spectral did that very well. It had enough of a kind of uniqueness. Not like anything you're gonna be like, wow, you've never seen anything like this before, but just enough of a slant on it, so it doesn't feel like, okay, I've seen this 80 times before.
And it wasn't bad. It was a couple odd things about it. For me, it was they kind of figured out in the middle of the movie, or towards the, actually it went on a while before they really
got it was right at the end.
Towards the end, they finally get an idea what they got to do to stop these things. But they decide to go in with troops again, which kind of like made me scratch my head, like, why bother going in with troops? You know you're darn well you're going to get killed. And they didn't have very good defense against these things. They had these guns they developed against these creatures. I don't want to get too much away here, but they had these guns that they developed, and they were like, we have to go to this area to stop. And I thought, why not just carpet bomb it, and that would be the end
They couldn't, remember? The base gets overrun and killed, and the things mess with electronics, so they couldn't radio anyone in.
But I thought they could fly somebody in from somewhere.
Nope, they had no electron. They had
but
no
so
way
they could build anything on the spot. They built all these guns and stuff.
Yeah, but
they couldn't build a simple radio.
Yeah.
And, whatever. So
that was kind of a thing.
I was kind of scratching my head.
They basically
and
said,
they built these guns in like minutes too.
Yeah,
we need these guns. Okay, we'll just reverse everything.
We got the classic montage scene. It's like
with the music playing, and they're just putting all these parts together, like anybody, And they're always located in a factory with loads and loads of extra parts, So, but that's the movie. It's fun. And it's nothing. It doesn't, don't go in here looking for any solid, huge depth in the movie. But it's fun. It gets to the point. It doesn't fool around. And they start, and it's these guys getting their butts kicked and how they try to figure their way out of it, and it's pretty dark, depressing, and dark. So I don't even think the ending was that that happy. I'm not going to say too much, but
actually, that was kind of a dark ending.
The ending was kind of like, oh, and that's it. I don't want to go any more farther on that, but it wasn't bad. Go to Netflix, check it out. Might be worth your time. You got anything else?
I got a couple last wrap up here. Is a couple of video game stuff. Injustice 2 is coming out this May, and I'm really looking forward to it. And we've gotten some new character reveals. Mm-hmm. We got Swamp Thing and Cheetah, who are two brand new cast members who weren't in the first game whatsoever. I think this is great because they said that they really wanted to go into the more obscure characters this time around, and they definitely are doing that with so far with the stuff they've brought out of Mothballs. Swamp Thing has been kind of getting a little bit more of a presence because he's been in stuff like Justice League Dark and things like that. But he's still one of those lesser known, and people just see he's like a giant green swamp creature, really.
Swamp creature, yeah.
And Cheetah is one of those. She's an older Wonder Woman villain.
Yep.
But she's, unless you watch like the Super Friends cartoon where she was part of the Legion.
That.
She was part of the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
That's what when someone says Cheetah, that's what I jump to is that Super Friends cartoon.
Super Friends.
She has made a lot of appearances throughout, obviously, Wonder Woman's comic book history. But, again, it's one of those names you drop and people like, an animal? Like a cheetah? Like an animal cheetah? And you're like, no, there's a character called Cheetah. And
fans will know.
Yeah.
Fans will know.
And Poison Ivy was the other one. And so it's definitely, they're rounding out this roster with a much more diverse crowd this time around.
Yep.
And I like that because, I said before, one of my complaints was that it was really a lot of Batman and Superman characters in the first time around. And, Poison Ivy is a Batman character, but the more the characters they've been revealing have been these obscure, like Blue Beetle, Atrocitus, and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a fantastic game, and I can't wait.
Love it.
And also, Pokemon Go finally got the second generation of Pokemon
Tons of them,
released
too.
into it. There's 100 new Pokemon from Gen 2. Now, the big question is that enough to keep it going? I mean, it's by no means a dead game. Still a ton of people playing it, but
the darndest time to drop it.
Yeah, it's
like
the
middle
winter.
of winter in the northern hemisphere.
Towards the end of winter, but still winter.
We got a lot. I mean, this is the northern hemisphere.
March 20th is technically the start of spring, but
you're talking. This could be 3 months before we get out of winter here.
Yeah,
where we are right now, and it's an outdoor game.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, oh, yeah.
And it was one thing because at least for a while there, you could play it on the bus. I would sit on the bus and I'd catch Pokemon as I went.
Yeah.
But then they like dropped the whole thing where Pokemon don't appear if you're moving at a certain speed. And I get why they did it. They don't want people driving around looking,
just sucking them up.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, driving around like not looking at the road.
Yeah, that was a problem too. I remember
Yeah.
vacuuming, but also trying to vacuum up Pokemon as fast as they could go and crashing into cars.
Yeah.
I remember that they were walking off cliffs. God, that was awesome. Walking off cliffs and crashing cars. And
so I get why they did that, but then
mountains.
it kind of made it impossible for me to play because, like you said, I'm not walking around outside in winter looking for Pokemon.
Yeah.
So it is like an odd time to drop it, but again, we'll see where they go with how long this thing continues to be.
We want it to succeed.
I do. I love it.
It's fun. It was cute. But
And my last bit of stuff here is the Nintendo Switch, which drops in about 2 weeks, actually, pretty much from this. I'm very excited. I think there's a lot of fun games announced. I mean, Zelda being a launch
Yeah, we were
title.
worried about that, weren't we?
That's the thing. This is where, again, a little bit of trepidation comes in again, because...
I got to jump in here.
Huh?
I got to jump in. Zelda Breath of the Wild is more and more news coming out on it. This is something you were talking about, and this is a hot release coming out. And you were saying you're hoping there's going to be more than Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we're not going to wait. We're not going to have that carry the whole game. But now you're saying you got a lot more stuff. But are we pumped for Zelda or what?
Oh yeah, Zelda I think is going to be fantastic. But that's the thing. There really isn't anything but Zelda at launch. There's nothing besides Zelda Breath of the Wild that I'm like, yeah.
So we got a lot of commitments, but we don't have anything.
We have a lot of announced games and stuff that's in the pipeline that I think is going to be fantastic. But at launch, we've got Zelda.
Okay, so
and
somebody's horse-whipping coders to put this
Zelda.
stuff together.
And
so Zelda's got to hold it.
This is the thing that they did with the Wii U. The Wii U had almost nothing at launch. I didn't get the Wii U at launch. I got it months and months later when some stuff was already out, so I could get stuff. But Wii U had almost nothing at launch, and there's like 10 games.
Yeah.
And only a few of them are exclusive.
My complaint with the Wii U was that you'd get in there and you'd get some of things, which annoyed the hell out of me. Like you'd go to YouTube and you'd get some videos because Wii U wouldn't let you have all the videos on YouTube. Why aren't we getting? I remember I'd be like, because we had Wii U set up down in the basement, and
that's the Wii. The Wii U is what I have upstairs.
The Wii did that. I'm sorry, I thought that was Wii. And the Wii did that, and it was like, well, you can go to YouTube. Okay, I'll go to YouTube. Well, we're not going to show you the same videos you could get on there. I'm like, what the heck? Come on.
The layouts and stuff in there is sometimes pretty questionable.
It's kind of rushed out and like, well, nobody will care. Like, they'll care. You can't give them part of YouTube.
But
it's huge.
The Switch looked like Nintendo's chance to rectify that mistake with the Wii U, and the closer we get to launch, I mean, now there's no way they're going to announce anything new for launch because we're 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
When we were about a month and a half away, I'm like, okay, maybe they'll drop a couple more surprises on us before.
Well, the only surprise
day.
We've gotten is somebody stole one.
Yeah.
And put it up on the video that we got. So.
And but it's just Zelda. I mean, next and then a couple weeks after, there's a couple fun releases. The Mario Kart 8 port will come out.
That's pretty big. That's gonna be pretty big.
ARMS looks like it's going to come out pretty soon after, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. But again, it's just this thing
I'm just
where
seeing
it's like
Zelda and Mario, but I thought there was going to be a ton of games.
Why are you launching a console with 10 games and only one of which has huge appeal?
Okay, see, I was wrong. I was getting the impression there was a lot more games about to hit, but apparently they're just being announced.
A couple months after, but it's going to be a case where I'm probably not going to get a Switch at launch. I'll probably wait a little while and see how
You're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
Well, no, the second wave looks like it's going to come out in April.
Okay, well then maybe that's what they're thinking. We'll put out Zelda with the first wave,
but
there won't be much to do, and then when the second wave comes out, we'll have more games already.
But people shouldn't have to wait. All the hundreds of thousands and millions of people who pre-order this thing shouldn't get stuck with getting one game.
It's gonna kick a lot of people.
We're
predicting right here that in about 2 weeks it comes out.
2 weeks, yep. Chris
we're kind of changing our tune right now because the way it's going, a lot of people I'm talking to online are saying, "Hey, I ordered it," but a lot of news is you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
So
they've had canceled pre-orders because GameStop and places have oversold them.
And who's the angriest nerds of them all? Video game nerds, players.
Pretty dang angry. But the real thing was that Nintendo Switch, like other Nintendo systems, you're going to be able to download games digitally to it.
Okay.
And that's a big trend now is digital games. I'm not really a fan. I like the disc. I grew up on that stuff.
Yep.
But the thing is, the Switch comes with a default 32 gig internal memory. 32 gigs is not a lot of space.
No.
One of my PS4 games is like 50.
No, what have I got over here? I got on the desk here. I got a
16 gig flash drive.
I got a.
Yeah.
No, it's bigger than that. I think it's a 32 gig
32
flash
gig little
drive.
flash drive. Yeah,
little
yeah.
tiny flash
so this
drive
little
sitting on
tiny
the desk.
2x2
I paid
flash
like
drive.
$15 for that.
Has the same internal memory space as a Wii U or as a Switch. Now here's the thing: a Switch can be upgraded with micro SD cards, so you could get this massive SD card and put it in the Switch, and it'll have a lot more space, which is fine.
You need about a terabyte for this thing.
I have a terabyte in both my PS4 and my Xbox, and they're almost full up. So yeah, so you need.
Can you believe we're actually heading?
Yeah,
we're actually going to exabyte world pretty soon.
Yep.
Can you believe we're actually there?
So the thing is, so you need, and that's the thing. Like people are like, okay, well you can fix it easy. You just get a micro SD card, or you get the disc games, which don't, or the disc cartridges, which don't install. So I will be getting cartridges because I like physical release games. So this isn't really an issue for me. But there's a generation of gamers who grew up on wanting to download things digitally, so they don't have to fuss with cartridges. And the fact that you can't even put a single game on the Switch digitally without upgrading it with an SD card. Not a single game will fit on there. Huh. So again, it's easily fixable by getting an SD card.
But you gotta get an SD card.
But you gotta buy an SD card. So it's one of those hidden fees that's in there with video game consoles that they don't tell you about.
Or the video game tax that we like to say.
And like I said, for me,
I didn't know about that.
It's not going to be an issue. I'm going to get cartridges because I like them.
Yeah.
But
you're old school.
Yeah, but for people who want to play digitally, this is a big issue. Yeah. They have to either upgrade with SD cards or find. I think there's a second way you can do it. But like I said, I'll be getting cartridges, so this isn't an issue for me. But it's the closer we get to launch, the more stuff is coming out that...
See, I grew up on cartridges too, but I actually would like to see everything just downloaded. I don't want to fool with cartridges.
I don't like downloading.
But see,
here's my thing. With stuff like GameStop, where you can trade and sell in games...
You trade back and forth.
You can't do that with digital stuff.
Yeah. But that's what
if you buy a $60 digital game and it sucks and you hate it and you want to get rid of it, tough luck. Yeah. You bought it digitally.
But that's what the companies want to get to.
Exactly.
Because then they can cut that middleman out. Yep. GameStop's gone. But you'll see online a lot of people showing off their cartridge library. They love to do it. Nerds,
it's
gamers
retro
love to do that. They're like, look at my cartridge library, and they got like 500 cartridges in there from all kinds of stuff. And we do in this house. My God, in our Sci-Clops building here, it's hundreds of stories high.
Yes.
And we have entire floors
about
nothing
6 of
but
them
game cartridges.
Nothing but Nintendo stuff.
Ancient game cartridges going back.
No, but I do. I've got my PS2 games. I've got my Nintendo cartridges. I've got all my PS4 and Xbox One and Wii U games. Yep. And it's nice. You have them on a little shelf, and it's your little nerd thing. But
nerd temple.
Digital stuff just doesn't have that. I don't know. It just doesn't have that for me.
But you know what else is wrong with digital? If it gets erased or you lose one
you're
thing,
screwed.
You lose the whole
Here's the thing.
darn
With
thing.
With a digital thing, if something happens to your hard drive or your system or whatever, and you lose the save data and the game, you're screwed. Worst case, with a physical copy game, you lose your save data. And then you start over.
Right.
So I've had that happen. I actually had my hard drive on my Wii U, my external hard drive.
Yep.
Got fried. I lost all my save data on all my games. But I have the games.
So you're okay.
So I'm fine.
Because the money is still saved. All you got to do is just start playing again.
Yeah.
The worst case, oh darn, I got to go play my games again. So we'll see. 2 more weeks, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with that Switch.
We'll have Chris come over for an unboxing.
I don't know why the devil they do this all the time. They are like, we're going to release this huge item, and then they put 80 of them out, whether it's Cabbage Patch Kids or Switches or whatever the hell it is, and they love to dangle it out there and make everybody crazy. But I don't know. I guess it's worked in the past, so people are going to go crazy.
Well, I mean, I was there. I got my PS4 launch day, and that was like a madhouse.
Madhouse, yeah. Near riots breaking out over that stuff, really, and that's
that's
not exaggerating either. Is that it for you?
That's all I've got, actually.
I got really quick. I'm gonna I got the comic I've been hanging on for months and months, which I love. My online comic, which is Star Power, and a few new pages have been added, so that's exciting. If you go to starpower.com, where I will actually have the link up for you. And what we've got here is Star Power has begun to evolve into several stories again. And what we've got going on is all at once. Danica, we find, had the Star Power, had we began to discover that she had some kind of problem going on with the parents. She's a wonderful character. She's very friendly, very kind, very nerdy, but she's for the first time she's getting ready to take an interstellar voyage, and so she's doing her goodbyes via interstellar phone or whatever you want to call it. They send messages back and forth, and she got her father on the line, and he starts mentioning the mother, and boop, she cuts the connection off. So something's going on with Danica and Mom. We don't know what, and I don't know what that's all about yet. We're going to find out. Meanwhile, the Traveler has arrived. The Traveler is this character that they're beginning to bring into the story, who is taking Danica, the star power, into the great beyond, where the Millennium Federation has no influence. And so we're going to start a whole new series of stories where they go beyond, and we're going to see what happens from there, because the Federation covers all the area they cover, they have under control, and they maintain the law and everything, and now they're going to go beyond there, and they're going to learn a whole bunch of new things. Grex Orbital, Danica's friend, she's a former Void Angel. The Void Angels had come in and attacked the Federation. There was a big fight, and Danica, the Star Power, was able to beat them. And the Void Angels had almost wiped out the Star Powers at one point. Danica, the last Star Power, and they capture one of the Void Angels, Burke Tekken. How do you love these names? And it's kind of funny. Okay. Grex Orbital, the former Void Angel, who's converted to the good side, she's ordered to go in and interrogate Burke.
Oh, that'll end well.
So she's huge. She's like 6.5 or 7 foot tall alien. And she goes up against this guy. And the guy, actually, this is the funny part. The guy's caught. He spent all his time trying to kill Danica and the Star Power and destroy the base and everything. And after he gets caught, Danica pretty much beats the snot out of him. But he falls for her. So he's crazy for Danica now. He's sitting in prison, and anytime he's looking out the window trying to see Danica. It's hysterical. So,
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome. Totally Stockholm Syndrome. So Grex is interrogating him, and it comes out that he's the guy who's been trying to kill Danica the whole time. But he hasn't explained that now he's done a complete 180 and has a change of heart and is madly in love with Danica. And Burks is like cracking her knuckles in the last frame. She's getting ready to or Grex is cracking her knuckles.
She's just releasing some tension. She's not going to beat him up.
She really is. She's cracking her knuckles. She's getting ready to smack him around. So it's kind of funny, and just a little bit of funny stuff going on in there, but there's a bunch of different stories going on in here, and it's still a great comic, great illustration, creeping along, and I'm really enjoying it. And the last piece of news I have is Galactic Empire. Galactic Empire is touring. Galactic Empire, of course, is the band out of the UK. They are fantastic. They do Star Wars tunes with a metal flavor. And
oh, yeah.
They dress up in the costumes. How the devil they play that stuff in those costumes on stage is beyond me. Because I
how they do it without getting sued is
I'm not
beyond
gonna say
me
too.
too.
Oh no, they've got everything set up. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
They've got all the rights.
Oh,
or they're working with them. But they were streaming live the other night on Facebook, and it was fantastic. The show's fantastic. The guys are really tight. They're touring. They just came into the U.S. They're doing a few dates here, not a whole lot. Highly recommend you pick up the album. These guys are fantastic. Their CD, the
I just
digital
remembered
downloads on Amazon. We'll have the links and everything too. So can't recommend them enough. Just crazy about these guys, and I'm really excited to say I went back with them when they were kind of starting out. I don't know how far back I was, but now they're getting big. Oh, and by the way, they've been top on the charts.
Yeah, their album's really dropped on iTunes.
Yeah, it's getting big. It's going right up the charts.
I just remembered something. Do you remember a while ago I told you about that pirate-themed metal band?
Yeah.
Alestorm is their name. And
Alestorm.
I cannot
tell
people enough. Go and listen to these. You
Go
think to
listen
yourself,
to Alestorm.
Pirate-themed metal band sounds like the dumbest thing ever. It's like that. It's like a Colossal trailer. It sounds like the dumbest thing ever, but it is great. Do yourself a favor. It's metal, but it's fun.
It's fun
like
metal.
You gotta listen to it.
How close to Guar is this thing?
They're like Guar's bastard cousin.
Oh
they're
my
just like,
god! Wouldn't you love to see Guar, Alestorm, and Galactic
I would
Federation?
go if I would any combo of that. I would go see again.
20,000 seats.
Look up Alestorm and have yourself some fun.
Yeah. So Galactic Federation, we want you to go tour with Alestorm and see if you guys can get Guar too in there. So we can have a blast, nerd. Oh, and get Slayer.
Yes.
Gotta have Slayer.
Slayer can open.
Slayer? No, don't say that. Slayer fans will go berserk.
Somewhere the band is turning. Who said we're the opening?
No, Slayer. I'm sure Slayer's got a good sense of humor. They're probably laughing about that. But Slayer, we love Slayer, and we'd love to see that. A great lineup that would be. So anyway, I thought I'd heard of Alestorm, but I'm just laughing harder and harder. Could you just see Alestorm, just the picture in this thing?
Just picturing a pirate-themed metal band.
I will do a post on Alestorm today for this podcast. We'll have it ready to go when the podcast comes out. We'll have a link to Alestorm and and Galactic Federation. And if I feel up to it, I'll throw in Guard Slayer. I don't know what I'm going to do there. But at any rate, that's going to be it. Let's get out of here before this thing gets any more ridiculous. We're coming up on Logan.
Arr.
Really exciting.
Next week, Wolverine themed episode.
No pirates.
No pirates.
No pirates.
Well, I'm sure at some point Wolverine's fought pirates. Actually, anyway, technically, Wolverine has fought pirates.
Has he?
I'll explain next week.
Okay. Oh, God. Anyway.
Next week, Wolverine-themed episode. Tell your friends.
We are pumped. Logan's coming. We're going to be doing a lot of Wolverines.
I'm going to be doing a lot of research.
I'm going
to have like just a stack of Wolverine graphic novels to talk about.
Fun and games. So we're really excited about Logan. The reviews are out. We will have our reviews
so
for
far,
Logan.
every review I've seen about this thing has been that it's fantastic. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this.
And we'll put up a whole thing of Logan reviews for you, early reviews. We've been collecting them and putting them up on the site. Last but not least, please do support us if you like the podcast.
We need more gold boats.
Follow us. We need more upvotes. We need more thumbs ups. We'd love to have you on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. What else are we on? Pinterest, and we've got the podcast, and we're also on iTunes. And we got some really cool stuff coming very soon. I'm also reading some really cool books, which I'll be reviewing soon. And we also are building I don't want to say too much yet, but I'm trying to build this store. So we'll let you know. We'll let you know if there's goodies
Pretty
coming.
soon you can get our autograph.
Goodies are here. We just haven't been able to get everything built fast enough yet. So that's my fault. I'm trying to do 50 things at once. And that's it. We'll have a Logan theme coming up. And in the meantime, keep the geek and have a great week.
Bye, guys.